Hey everybody, Rosemary here, and welcome to part 7 of my Master Detective Archives Rain Code Let's Play. In the last episode, Yuma had to give in and seek the assistance of Halara in investigating the Nailman killings. And unfortunately, Halara does not come cheap. I don't know how we're going to be able to afford their services, but they've actually been quite a big help so far with, learning what Halara's forte is, which is precognition, which is the ability to see the crime scene at the moment of its discovery. And it was kind of implied at the beginning with the first murders, but Yuma has... I can't remember what it is. It's almost like a synchronicity kind of thing, where it's like he is able to perceive the same things, the same fortes, as another detective if he holds their hand and asks for permission. So he was also able to see the previous crime scenes, and there are definitely some similarities, but there are some differences as well for each one. It's all locked room mystery, or all locked room murders. The key was in an area like inside the room itself. There's usually vents, I believe, in each room, so it seems like vents which are too small for someone to be able to escape from. But there are some differences as well, so it makes me think maybe there's like some copycat murders going on. During the investigation, they interviewed some people at the church where the Nailman killing dolls are put like behind the church, and all of them are kind of a little bit sus. I was saying how the kind of the punk girl, the punk nun, is my #1 suspect, because I keep saying Nailman, but it could be a woman, I think. And we also learned that the Peacekeepers are not happy that we have meddled into the investigation, so they are threatening to take Yako away and detain him. So we only have a couple of hours in order to solve the mystery, so no pressure. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Let's go ahead, let's get back into the game, and let's see where this mystery takes us next. Alright, so we last left off, we have investigated all of the places, all of the crime scenes, and now we are on our way back to the headquarters to talk to Yako and, tell him what we've discovered so far, but Yuma still doesn't quite know how everything fits together. Halara apparently said that they figured things out, but they will not tell us without a fee. I think maybe Halara deep down wants us to figure it out ourselves and is charging like an exorbitant amount of money that we can't possibly afford, because maybe Halara sees some potential in us and wants us to like not rely on them all the time and figure things out for ourselves.
Go, go, go.
And we have limited time, but I'm also just kind of running around to see if I can find any more of those little statue thingies. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Because I do like the gumshoe gab. Like, I do want to try and learn more about these characters.
Halara seems to know who the real culprit is. That's incredible.
Come on! Where's your competitive spirit? You might be a trainee, but you're still a detective.
It's gonna take me. There's a map. I'm still getting myself turned around. I am just awful with direction. Have I ever gone down this way? Probably. Oh, no, we don't want to go that way. Oh. By continuing ahead, it will not be possible to return here for some time. Interesting. Okay, I will continue. I like that the game does give a heads up on it.
It's about time.
So I'm guessing we're probably gonna run in and we're going to activate the labyrinth, because that is going to freeze time. Because, like, if we have to figure things out right now, we have no idea who the killer is.
Hey, wait! You said I had 3 hours, huh? My watch says I still got 5 minutes!
You need to get your watch repaired. Oh dear. The watchmaker is currently detained as a suspect. Just throw away that piece of trash then. Besides, you're out of time anyway. Take him away.
Wait!
Woo! Yuma! I knew you'd save me!
He's like, so you know who it is, right? I'm like, about that.
And you are.
I was the one investigating the Nailman murders.
Oh, I see. So, you're the one who interfered with our work at the clock tower. Well, I will honor your courage for confessing and turn a blind eye to that incident. You must drop this case. If you do, we will leave without pursuing any further action. That'd be the ideal solution for all of us. What do you say?
Yuma, think carefully about this. Solving the case is good and all, but think about my well-being. Please?
Dropping the case would end this peacefully.
Oh my gosh, would I be able to...
Still.
Can I make the choice?
Please.
That'd be hilarious, and then just like game over, and then the dad gets executed.
You may be a trainee, but you are still a detective. Once you have accepted a job, you must finish it.
I can't back down now. The Nailman killings haven't been solved yet. I will find the truth.
Huh?
Oh, you've said it now. There's no pulling out of this one anymore.
Then our deal is off. He comes with us. This is for directly interfering with our work and bringing strife to Kanai Ward.
But... Please, wait! Before you go! Please listen to what I've discovered while investigating the past Nailman killings.
You investigated the previous killings. We handle all the information for those cases. Now that they're closed, there's nothing left at the crime scenes. I have no time for your lies.
Do these people, are they aware of the special powers that detectives have?
The Peacekeeper report didn't say anything about the cause of death. All of the victims were strangled to death, weren't they? I suspect this fact hasn't been made public.
How did you know that?
So the cause of death was kept under wraps. I hope you see now. My investigation is legitimate. Please, let me continue. I will catch the true culprit.
Wouldn't it be crazy if it was Seth Burroughs? He was the one who did. He's just trying to cover things up. I doubt
don't
it.
know where you obtained that information. However,
Sorry.
it appears that you must be arrested as well.
Huh?
You are suspected of espionage. I believe an interrogation is in order. Take him away.
Alright, Shinigami, do your job. This is what happened last time, just as I was about to be taken
What?
in.
Wait, please listen to me!
You almost had it, but got too carried away, rookie.
Shinigami!
Worry not. When you're in trouble, say my name.
Laura's like Epona. It's just like, call for me and I will appear. I don't know how.
Halara Nightmare shall rush to your aid.
That's right! Halara! Please help!
Just get ready to pay out the ass for it.
Halara Nightmare!
It appears you require the aid of a great detective.
I hope Alara's not gonna come and like say, this is all the stuff that happened. Like, I want to figure this out. Or just kick people.
Halara, you came for me!
Yeah, as I said I would.
You committed acts of violence against the Amaterasu Corporation peacekeepers. Not once, but twice.
How are you still
Sorry.
making... I was like, he's not even speaking out of the speakerphone. Or the...
Can we please keep things on the
You know what
down
we know
low?
what I'm thinking.
Mr. Sav, are you all right?
Who do you think we are?
Oh, okay, never mind. I was just like, what if that was just his voice?
You are nothing but an audience. The resolution is premiering now. The leading role belongs not to you or me, but to Yuma.
See, Halara, I think Halara does have some faith in me that I'm gonna be able to figure this
I've
out.
set the stage for you to solve the case. The time has come for you to risk it all as a detective. Expose the true culprit.
What is it about detectives and these games? They just love to point.
What's
Oh,
going on?
I get to pick? Do I get to choose which one it is? It's totally the girl. It's totally her.
Can I go home?
So that's what you meant about setting the stage.
I wonder if she hurt her arm. I'm guessing she probably hurt it in the last one. I was saying, like, because whoever was the killer had to descend down the clock tower, and she probably hurt herself doing that.
I mean, Halara did suggest the real killer was among the people at the church. And now I have to point them out here?
Hey, Yuma, are you sure you got this?
Do I get to save
I'm
first?
really sure? And there's no room to mess up here, you know?
I'm assuming I'm gonna jump into the labyrinth.
Well,
What do I do? I haven't gathered my thoughts yet. It's not like I can just ask for more time here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Laura seems to know the answer already, so why don't you just pay up for it?
But that would waste all of Halara's efforts setting the stage for me.
Huh. So you want to solve this all on your own? If you can't ask Halara for help, why don't you try asking me instead?
You mean the Mystery Labyrinth?
The Peacekeepers aren't just gonna stand by and listen to your deduction here. Things are just gonna escalate.
Oh.
And it might even end up with more deaths.
That's gonna be interesting because when I come back to the real world, whoever is the true killer is just gonna drop dead in front of everybody.
Oh no.
And that's where yours truly comes in. We have the information we need from the investigation. All that's left is to solve the case with the Mystery Labyrinth.
This will be interesting because the last time with Zilch, we didn't actually see him die. We just heard about it afterwards.
But if I do that...
There's always a price to pay. When I read the soul of the true culprit, the Mystery Labyrinth created by the culprit is destroyed. But as a price, the source that created the Mystery Labyrinth also perishes.
Which means the real culprit will die.
Huh? This killer's a total psycho who's already killed many others. Why do you care so much? Don't you want to solve this case, Master? What about your promise to that kid?
What's wrong, Yuma? If you don't hurry, the Peacekeepers will wake up.
What is this nonsense about a resolution? I don't have time for this.
Be interesting if it was nobody from the church and just a completely different person ended up dropping dead. Like I said, what if it was Seth and he just died in front of everybody? That would be one way to get away with attacking a bunch of peacekeepers.
I will make you listen by force if needed. That is my job as assistant.
Well, you better hurry, or things will start getting bloody around here.
Fine.
That's the spirit! Well, Master, are you mentally and physically prepared?
What?
Oh wait, Halara can see it. Whoa. Huh. Was Halara gonna go in with me? Is that possible? That'd be nice. I guess people who are phantom detectives can sense it.
What's
This I wasn't expecting.
Has time stopped?
Halara, how are you moving right now?
Yuma, what happened? Is this someone's forte?
Shinigami, Halara's in here too.
Not so.
You knew this would happen?
Master, you used your coalescence.
That's what it
remember?
was called,
Your ability
coalescence.
isn't a one-way street.
Oh, so anybody I use the coalescence with. Interesting. So this will probably happen each chapter with a different detective.
As well. Halara wandered into the Mystery Labyrinth because of that effect. I think.
You're not even sure?
Who are you?
This'll take too long to explain. Plus, I don't feel like it. So I'll kick that roll over to Master! Down the rabbit hole we go!
Alright, so this is going to answer the question of, is each Mystery Labyrinth the same, or is it different? It's looking the same so far, based on the outside. I'm really hoping it's going to be kind of like a Persona thing, where each labyrinth has like a different look to it, but I don't know. I don't think so. But, I mean, we've got someone with us, so that changes things, which is interesting. So I wonder if, like, Halara will get to fight with me. Maybe I'll have to control both of them.
What should I do? I'll need to explain everything, won't I?
We don't have much of a choice now. No point in keeping secrets here.
Halara? Let me explain. And that's how this mystery labyrinth involving the Nailman killings materialized.
I see. So mystery labyrinths are materialization of mysteries themselves, and the truth is encased deep within. I appear to have underestimated you. This is an amazing forte. I must admit, it's quite a superhuman power. As far as I know, no other ability comes close to this. Who are you? I refuse to think you're just a trainee detective.
To be honest, this isn't my ability.
Before you continue, tell me, who is that woman beside you?
Her name is Shinigami. I think the simplest way to describe her is that she's a guide for the Mystery Labyrinth.
That's me! I'm also Master Scary Cute Mentor.
On to my next question.
You're just gonna ignore me?
You mentioned the Nailman case just now. I had heard the rumors about that around town. Why are you investigating that case?
Huh? What are you talking about? We were just investigating the Nailman case together.
The Nailman?
Oh, wait.
We were
Halara
pursuing
loses
that
all of
case.
their memories when they come here?
You don't remember? There was a young boy who wanted to hire a detective and you turned him down.
I do remember you received a request from a child about some case, and you ended up
Interesting.
seeking my help. The cost for hiring me was $5,500,000.
I love how Halara doesn't forget that, down to the cent.
You remember the exact amount.
Of all
But I
the, he's
can't
like, of all the
remember what
things
the
to
case
remember.
involved. I do vaguely recall investigating something. My mind is clouded. I don't remember exactly what was being investigated or what was discovered.
Could that be?
Yeah, it's because of the Mystery Labyrinth. The Mystery Labyrinth is a fortress protecting the truth, so outsiders usually can't reach it. If someone did happen to wander in, their memories of the case would be locked away. Though, if you have a pact with me, you wouldn't be affected. But I guess that part of the pact can't be shared.
This is the Mystery Labyrinth's defense mechanism, then. It makes sense for a vault that protects its treasure, the truth, to have a significant level of security.
Yep, totally not strange at all. Halara here sure is smart.
Halara.
Oh, don't mind her. She gives people random nicknames.
Anyway, since my memories of the case have been taken away, I will provide a supporting role for your investigation.
Supporting role?
As long as we're in here, I will act as your assistant. Well, that's the same as our original agreement.
That means we can't rely on Halara's detective skills to blast through this dungeon.
I guess that's probably the game's way of getting around that whole thing, right? Because if Halara knows the answers to everything, then this would be the easiest dungeon ever.
That's unfortunate, but it's still nice to have an ally.
And it's a way for Yuma to be the one to figure out everything himself.
Hey, Master, before we head into the Mystery Labyrinth, let's do that thing.
Huh? What thing?
Oh, throwing up all the keys.
Master, are you ready to give your life for the truth?
Yeah, I am.
Oh wait, this is the sword one, right?
Well, this world is just full of surprises. I assume that sword is used to cut down enemies interfering with your progress through the Mystery Labyrinth.
You're right. It's a special sword that can interact with things here.
I better materialize the solution keys I got during the investigation, too. That was a lot. Here you go.
Do you have to vomit them out every time?
What? Should I use a different hole instead?
Sorry, please don't mind her.
All right, we're all set. Now, let's unriddle this mystery labyrinth. Our target is the true culprit who preys on the truth.
Praise. I feel like that is maybe a little bit of a double entendre with like pray, church.
I understand that progressing through this Mystery Labyrinth will allow us to obtain the truth.
That's a little bit of a bummer. It does look like it's the same.
But what happens to us if we can't find it?
We'd be lost, wandering around here forever.
But as long as we reach the truth, it doesn't matter how much time we spend here.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, but there's a time limit for solving the mystery
Wait, what?
labyrinth.
What?
Oh, what?
Oh, no, I'm in agreement. What? I hate time limits. No, 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 don't do that to me.
There's a limit to how long you can stay in here. Stick around too long and your soul will leave your body behind. Your soul will wander until it's eventually absorbed by the mystery labyrinth.
Oh,
Yeah,
please don't
you
tell me there's gonna be
vanish
like a
entirely.
timer up. That's gonna stress me the hell out.
In other words, you die.
This was not mentioned the first time.
Why are you laughing? You should have told me this a long time ago!
Now relax, quit whining. A detective is bound to die anyway. Isn't that right, Helara?
It's no different from our usual line of work. A detective's life is always on the line.
See? Listen up, Master. You might learn something.
You're taking this awfully well, Halara.
Okay, this is different. Good, I'm
What's
glad there's some
this?
changes.
They seem to represent the 4 crime scenes. I assume that solving all 4 will allow us to progress.
Oh, I see.
You see? Master, this is your job. So what's first? How about starting with the clock tower, since it was the first one you investigated?
If the numbers are set chronologically, then the clock tower would be the 4th locked room mystery.
First off,
Aren't you going to check the scene at the clock tower first? Let's go once you're ready.
Let's solve this thing.
The clock tower crime scene is the 4th locked room. Let's hurry, Master. Oh, creepy. Just all the bodies hanging. What's this? Like blood bashed against the stone? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that it's moving. That's creepy.
The clock tower crime scene is the fourth locked room. Did you forget already?
No, I just wanted to see.
Maybe you'll
No,
have a better memory than a goldfish in the next life.
I just want to see if someone's going to comment about the fact that it's move. Oh, they're all moving. They're all moving.
Are you going to the fourth locked room?
Please don't talk. Please don't do that. That's creepy as hell.
This is an exact replica of the clock tower crime scene. Shinigami, you didn't recreate it with your powers, did you?
No, I could only do that when I hit you so hard in the head you almost died. It looks to me like the crime scene materialized in the labyrinth on its own.
The fourth locked room is the latest chronologically, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, Halar didn't
This is
investigate
also
this one,
someone
did they?
Involved in the Nailman killings.
What are the details of the case? Try to tell me as concisely as possible.
The crime was a locked room murder inside the storage room of a clock tower. In the middle of the room was a woman's corpse covered in countless nails.
Which means that's the corpse.
Yeah, there were also lots of dolls nailed to the walls. It looked just like one of those bizarre crime scenes left behind by that Nailman guy from the urban legend.
Hence the Nailman killings. From the look of it, the door was locked from the inside.
Yeah, it was locked until the body was discovered.
There's only one window, and its shutters were down as well. I see. So the shutters were locked too.
There's a thing about a string, right? So somebody probably was able to like move it, like unlock it from the inside and then close it shut from the outside to make it appear locked.
This is the third floor of the clock tower. It's too high up to jump from here.
So it really is a locked room mystery.
Hey! If this is a locked room, aren't we stuck in here too? Oh no! Master! You're trapped unless you solve this mystery! Otherwise, you'll run out of time and your soul gets snuffed out! You better hurry!
Hey! Huh?
Where did the culprit flee from?
I see. So that's how to make the questions appear.
Lara didn't even flinch.
I'm surprised you're so calm after seeing that.
Alright, so, I mean, I'm gonna go with my original choice.
Here! It has to be here! The culprits must have escaped through the window.
And your reasoning?
When I arrived at the scene, the window shutters were closed. It was wet underneath the window, but I could tell it was already starting to dry.
Okay, I forgot about this part, because I did this a couple of weeks ago, so it is good to get a refresher.
Which means the window was open not too long ago.
It's likely the culprit escaped through the window and closed the shutters on the way out.
Is it possible to close the shutters from the outside?
Yes, this style of shutter automatically locks, so if you let go of the shutters at the right height, its momentum pulls it down. And once down,
Okay.
it locks all on its
Didn't
own.
remember that part either.
In other words, the culprit held up the shutters while moving outside. Once they let go, it automatically locked.
In that case, let's try leaving this locked room in the same way!
Right, let's try it.
The Nailman killings have already been solved.
Is he that peacekeeper?
It's a mystery phantom! The people covering up the case in the real world are manifested like that here to stop us!
You think the culprit really escaped from here? This high up? If you fall, you die. Why don't you give it a try?
Help!
Hey, don't drag me down with you!
We can't leave a guest behind, Hallara! It would be downright unmannerly! It's so simple.
Ooh, okay, this is new. Okay, we got some QTEs here. Press the correct button when you think you have the correct answer to the questions the mystery phantom throws at you.
This might be a little
Attacks are going to keep coming, but be careful. You'll take damage if you avoid all assailing assaults. Once again, oh gosh, I have to get myself reacquainted with
Yuma,
the Switch controller.
Mystery Labyrinth is a manifestation of a mystery, so solving it will get us out of this, right?
I think so.
The culprit wouldn't have fallen out of the window like we did. They would need a tool to get up and down.
A tool?
You should have found something during the investigation. I was helping you, after all. You must have seen the answer with your own eyes. Try to remember.
Except Hallara didn't help with this particular one.
Master, concentrate!
Guess it's gotta be a rope, or... Oh god damn it! Once again. I think Y, I think of an Xbox controller, the Y is on the top. Damn it!
Master, concentrate!
Must be it.
That's it! We found the burnt remains of that rope in the incinerator at the church. The culprit had used that rope to escape through the window.
And only people in the church can use the incinerator. What traces did using the rope... Okay, using leave behind. Wet floor.
This is it.
The nail that was stuck in the doll under the window had some rub marks on it. The culprit must have tied the rope there. That's why those nails had been hammered in below the window.
It wouldn't be possible to climb down a rope simply hooked onto a window, unless you've had special training for it. There's no way an amateur could manage it. That can't be how things went down.
In that case, it couldn't have been an ordinary rope. It must have been...
What's that? I can't hear you.
What were the rope's burnt remains originally? Safety line, rope ladder, a belt. Ooh, safety line?
There's no way I can dodge it.
Nope. Couldn't have been a belt. A belt's way too short. So it's gotta be the second one.
It's possible to climb down a rope simply hooked onto a window, unless you've had special training for it. There's no way an amateur could manage it. That can't
Oh,
be how
unless they
things went
use
down.
the belt as... Okay, let's
In
read
that
this
case,
again.
It couldn't have been an ordinary rope.
Oh no, they are saying the actual rope. I was thinking maybe somebody used the belt so that they weren't using their hands. And they used the belt to slide down, but... Okay. Safety line. So it's gonna be that, the rope ladder.
With you. In spirit, anyway.
X.
Ow! We're alive, I think.
Yuma, are you okay?
Yeah, thanks. You saved me, Hallara.
Correct. It's all thanks to me. Money well spent, no?
Yeah, well, you don't have money yet.
Well, it was a lot of money.
How on, are you two just gonna keep staring at each other all day? Let's get out of this locked room!
Right.
So this is the rope ladder in question. It certainly would help you escape. The details of the case are still unclear to me. Was this found in the church's incinerator?
That's right. It didn't concern me at the time, but it makes sense now. The rope can be folded in the middle, and then the ends can
Oh,
be
there was the thing about, like... Didn't they say that there was the picture? Like, what could that picture mean?
And that's how they made a rope ladder.
Where did we see that before? I feel like I did see that. Was it a picture of something that we found at a crime scene?
What makes you so sure it was used here?
The nail under the window showed signs of friction from a rope, and had some yellow fibers on it. A clergy member showed me the rope's burnt remains, and I noticed it was the same yellow color. And there were footprints on the ground below the window of the clock tower, facing the wall. Thinking about it now, these were clearly signs that someone climbed down the rope ladder and landed there.
Wait, wasn't the rope ladder hitched on that nail? How did they get it down from the bottom?
The culprit could have cut it one rung at a time as they descended. By the time they reached the bottom, it would have been one long single rope, which they could easily pull down.
The window's shutters fell due to its weight and locked automatically, completing the locked room.
Yep, that's a stellar deduction. Major props. To me for training you!
Alright, now it's fight time. Oh, let's hope I do a little bit better with this.
That rope ladder to escape the clock tower. What of it?
He's back!
That doesn't change our verdict at all. The Watchmaker is the culprit.
Master, boom, kill the mystery phantom blocking your path!
Yeah!
Okay, clock tower, fear of height. Oh, that's right, yes, the clock...
Deductions of yours
Clockmaker
are
is
unnecessary.
scared of heights, so he
It's
wouldn't be able to
clear
climb
who
down.
The culprit is. The Watchmaker was nearby at the time of the crime. The Watchmaker
shoot.
was also at the scene.
Oh no, it's these things. I was
And he
about
had a
slashing the
hammer for
noise.
nails. In other words, he committed the crime. After committing the crime, just as you deduced, he created that locked room and escaped via the rope ladder.
Okay, let's do the rebuttal there.
This is the truth!
The Watchmaker is afraid of heights. He couldn't even look out the windows as he went up the tower. No way he climbed a rope ladder that high up. So it's impossible for him to have committed the crime. He's not the Nailman.
Damn you!
Oh, that's it? Okay.
You said these mystery phantoms try to cover up the case, right? Which means the Peacekeeper Seth is trying to do just that.
I don't know why, but it's clear the Peacekeepers are involved with this case.
Perhaps it is connected to Kanai Ward's ultimate secret. All the more reason to seize the truth. Let's go.
Right.
Jeez, who's the protagonist here?
By the way, Yuma, about your sword. Does it only work on cues and mystery phantoms?
The solution blade works against anything in the Mystery Labyrinth. So don't cut your allies by mistake, Master.
You could have told me that sooner.
Can I use that sword?
Ooh, so sorry. Only Master is able to use it because he made a pact with yours truly.
Laura really over here trying to take over as the protagonist.
You may be under the effects of coalescence, but you're just an extra here, Laura. So no, you can't use the solution blade.
I was merely curious. Regardless, it's best I act as support, since I don't have any memories of what happened. Let's return to the case. Assuming the watchmaker isn't the culprit, do you have any notion of who is?
I do.
Okay.
Halara, during the investigation, you claimed one of the people at the church is the culprit. I think I understand the reason why now. That rope was found inside the
Okay, I thought he was going to
which
straight up
only
say, like, I
church
know
members could
which
access.
one of them is the culprit. I'm like, it's a little too soon for that.
In other words, whoever tried to destroy the evidence is a member of the church. Prompt and logical. I am quite impressive.
Wait, you're tooting your own horn?
Okay, well, I'm glad we are getting some changes of scenery.
I see.
You solve mysteries like this to progress your way through the labyrinth.
Wow!
You catch on quick, Halara. I'm now only getting the hang of things. It may look peculiar at first, but the structure is exceedingly logical. It's easy to understand. That's amazing, Halara.
You know,
I wonder what lies ahead.
Well,
There's always a chest at the end of a labyrinth. I'm sure you'll find some treasure. I'd rather get information about the case than treasure.
hey! A treasure chest! Can I open it? Check it out! A new solution key!
Okay, persons with access to incinerator, only clergy members have access to the incinerator. Oh, well, okay, that was quick.
we're back
I know
to
the other ones are
spot.
probably going to be a little bit more complex, but I mean, I've only been in the labyrinth for what, maybe 10 minutes, and I've already got one case down.
So, we cleared the first route. We just need to keep this up and go through each shrine one by one to gather clues about the culprit, which supposedly leads to solving the real-life case. I'm starting to understand how the Mystery Labyrinth operates.
You learn fast. Unlike a certain master I know.
If you're so impressed, why don't you just sign a pact with Halara?
Oh, are you sulking? You're the jealous kind, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
We're short on time, aren't we? Let's move on.
Right.
I can't wait to reap the culprit's soul. What do we do next? You can choose whichever you want, so why not start with the one you're most confident with?
Let's see.
Which one am I the most confident with? I don't know. So I can... Okay, that's pretty cool. I can just go in any order I want. I figure I have to work my way back from 4 to 1. I don't know if I'm particularly confident about any of them, so I think I will just end up working, like, backwards. So we'll go with 3.
Not bad at all.
So, which locked room do you want to solve next? Hurry up and decide, Master. I mean, I guess 3 is the one that we investigated the most recently.
The third locked room was a murder that happened 1 month ago in the art gallery storage in Ginma district. Pictures and paint were scattered all around the spot where a woman was boom killed. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing.
Are you going to the third locked room?
Did we get stuck inside a locked room again?
This was the corpse that was discovered by that worshipper and the art gallery employee. At the time of discovery, the door was locked and the key was nailed to a doll inside the room. Aside from the door, the only other entrance is the window, but it opens just enough to fit a finger in. The frame itself is too small for even a child to squeeze through. How did the culprit vanish from here?
Where did the culprit flee from? Now, the one I was most confident with was the fourth one. This one I'm a little like, Could they have just gone out through the front door? Hey, look, there's no roof, so there. Out there. Ah, is there like a trap room or something? Or not a trap door. I don't even know what that is. There's like all this drape stuff, so maybe, oh, did they maybe hide and escape when somebody wasn't looking? I'm gonna say the front door. I'm gonna say they just went out the front door.
Here. I think the culprit could have only escaped from here, but...
Nothing's happening. Maybe you made a mistake, Master.
No, that can't be right. It's impossible for anyone to squeeze through that window. They could have only gotten out through the door. I'm sure the culprit had the key and locked the door from the outside after committing the crime.
The culprit just used a copy of the key? Would that really be considered a locked
Oh yeah, that's right,
mystery?
because the art room employee would have one too.
Well, there are only 2 keys to the storage space, and the design makes them impossible to duplicate. I learned that thanks to you, Halara.
One of the keys is always carried by that one employee. It was used when the body was first discovered, right? And the only other key was nailed through a doll onto a painting. So, it is a locked room mystery, right? Right? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
wait.
totally it.
That wouldn't have worked because the employee and the worshiper both said that they stood in the doorway. So I was thinking, like, if they came into the room, then maybe the culprit could have snuck out, but I don't think that's possible.
I see.
This one's a little trickier.
I suppose you could call it that. Hey, Yuma, can you go check outside of that window?
Oh, just like before.
Before?
Yeah, you made me do the same thing in the real world when we were investigating this place.
I see. Then the answer has already been confirmed. Very well. This locked room is solved.
Love the confidence.
Huh? Wait, did you already solve this mystery?
You haven't? How about you go and check outside the window? Then even you will see.
Oh, it unlocked. Looks like you can go outside.
All right, let's go see.
Come on.
What are you going to find outside of the window? If Halara knows the answer, why not just tell us?
Well...
I'm supposed to be the one solving the mysteries. Besides, getting the answer from Halara will cost a lot of money. 0 money, 0 pride, 0 memory, or 000 master. Come on.
Hey, didn't you already check this in the real world? Why do it again?
Halara told me to check it twice. There must be an important clue outside that window.
Hey! Maybe the culprit threw the key in through the window. That way
That's what I was thinking at first, but it was underneath the painting or was nailed to the painting, so that wouldn't work.
Well, how about that theory?
Is this the storage key?
Which means...
Because of the culprit, what happened to the key?
This one's a freebie! I was right! Just toss it in there, Master!
The culprit threw the key inside? Is that really the right answer? Did the culprit throw the key in from the window?
Master, hurry up!
I'm gonna say no. I'm just going to... I don't think so.
It's crumbling away! You're gonna fall!
That's the right answer?
How? Didn't the culprit throw the key in there? That's why the key was found inside, right?
No, the crime scene wouldn't end up like that if we threw it in. The key was nailed to a painting. That's not possible if you just throw it into the room.
Oh, right. But if the culprit didn't throw it in there, how is the key left in the room?
If you can't nail the key after throwing it...
I was thinking, I was like, maybe it was nailed to the painting first and then, but you can't throw it in from the window, it's too big.
You're back. The key vanished.
The key is in my hand.
Master! You got the doll and nail!
I see. So you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Try it out. Doing so will create a new path.
Yeah, I'm gonna solve this.
Good luck, Master! You gotta think like the culprit, Master!
Think about how the culprit created the locked room and follow the same steps to complete the room.
Blood place is suspicious.
Inspect items following the sequence of events. Some of the items weren't used in the crime, so be careful.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery. First, do something about that doll. Just recreate what you deduced earlier. Follow the steps the culprit took to create the locked room mystery and check those locations.
Let's see. So there's this door, painting.
Use everything you know and recreate the locked room. You should already have the answer. All that's left is to follow the steps one at a time. It's that simple.
Sculpture. Oh?
There are a few things you have to do, but first, you need to set the conditions to create the locked room. Wasn't the doll you just obtained used somewhere?
Oh, darn it. Okay. Oh, the painting. Derp.
All right, first, take the painting.
Oh, okay. Prop the painting up against the wall next to the window. Nail the key to the painting, or nail the doll to... Oh, is it maybe... Okay. Is it maybe what they did was they put the... They leaned the painting up against the window and then, like, nailed the key to the painting, but the doll was first, right? They nailed the doll to the painting and then the key after. Okay. I'm gonna say nail the doll to the painting.
The culprit nailed the doll onto the painting.
And then they just, what, like push the painting over afterwards?
Next, both were stood up at a certain location.
Okay, so it is. It's being stood up against the wall by the window, I'm guessing. I'm just thinking about the way it would be tipped over.
Stood up facing the window.
Yeah, and then they just push over and it would fall.
Doll is
Okay.
right next to the window. After that,
Oh, the ladder? I didn't even see this. They would have left, right? Yeah, they would have left the room, go around.
then the culprit went outside. The door was locked, and they went to the other side of the storage room. I can see the painting and doll through the window, but I can barely fit my hand through the gap.
The doll's got a nail in it, but the problem is that key in your hand, Master.
Yeah, the culprit took the key and then...
Oh, hung on a nail stuck in the doll. Nailed the painting with the doll. Gonna be either nailed the painting or hung it Would they be able to nail it from such a small gap? I'm gonna just say hung.
No.
Ah, shoot,
Think
okay.
about the state the corpse was in at the time of discovery. The key wasn't just hanging on it.
Ah, damn it, okay.
What's the next step?
Damn it, I overthought it. I overthought it.
The culprit nailed the key to the painting, along with the doll from outside the window.
But here's the thing though, like, how is the door locked unless the employee... 'Cause he said he unlocked the door, right? But how was the door able to be locked from... I guess you can lock it from the outside. Yeah, that makes... They locked the door as they left. Derp. Because I was like, maybe it's the employee. Alright, knocked the painting toward the room.
I pushed the painting into the room. It completes the locked room mystery. This is how the culprit did it.
And we are just flying through these. Considering how long the first labyrinth took, I'm gonna guess that there's a lot more we haven't even checked out after we're gonna solve all these locked rooms.
But you've reached the truth behind this locked room.
Throwing the key through the window would be obvious. So to mislead us into thinking that was impossible, the key was nailed to a painting which was then pushed over.
It's one thing for an amateur, but a detective wouldn't be tricked by this.
Seriously, only amateurs would get fooled.
She's like, wait.
Wait, you mean me?
What is it?
You don't look very happy. Oh, I was thinking about the locked room, the art gallery storage. I think anybody could have recreated that. Agreed. Anybody could make a locked room mystery. Culprit? Nailman? Anyone. See, because the thing is, like, it's this big, like, urban legend. So you've heard of copycat murders. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm wondering if each... Oh, how wild would that be if, like, each member of the clergy or the church, like, they each committed a murder and all of them just dropped dead at the same time because, like, they all committed a murder? Right. It's just the fact that each one's done slightly differently that makes me think that could be the case. That would be wild, though, as if we ended up killing 4 people. Yuma would feel very guilty.
Well,
What a tough locked room, but I'm sure the treasure will be worth the effort. Maybe you'll get like 10 solution keys. I can't wait.
hey, a treasure chest! Oh, who's gonna open this one? We should let the meanest one of us open it.
How would you decide that?
Like this. I'm the meanest. Let's check out this treasure. Huh?
What's wrong?
It's empty.
Huh? Why? After all we went through to solve this locked room.
I mean, it didn't take us that long.
This must mean solving the third locked room mystery doesn't necessarily bring us any closer to the ultimate truth.
That's terrible. I suddenly feel so tired.
So maybe that's it. Maybe all the previous ones were all just... had nothing to do with the most recent one.
We can't call it quits. We gotta keep going. All right, let's keep going and solve the remaining locked rooms.
Hey,
You decide which to solve first. I'll follow your lead.
The second locked room mystery occurred 3 months ago in that mansion. The corpse was inside the study, and the room's key was found underneath the corpse. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing.
Are you going to the second locked room?
there are dolls nailed across the room. The victim is nailed down in the same manner. And the culprit was also missing from this room? It shares common traits with the other Nailman killings.
And we're trapped again. Looks like you gotta solve the mystery of this locked room or we're not leaving.
I'll try.
Where did the culprit
The
flee
door
from?
was locked when the corpse was found, and the only key was underneath the body. There are no windows that could have been used to escape.
Saying
and
there's
the
a
vents
secret
is too
passage.
small to fit through.
It's a library, a study, and a mansion. Come on.
So how did the culprit escape from here?
Okay, there was the whole thing with, like, this up here, that there were some, strings or something, or proof that it's been tampered with. I'm gonna go... I don't think they escaped from there, but I'm sure there's some sort of maybe, like a police, like a contraption that they had maybe that was able to shut the door. Okay, I'm just gonna pick this. It's probably not right. Mistake. Damn. Alright. Okay, fine. Let's pick the door again.
Yes, and it looks like the bars are screwed shut from the inside, so they can't be removed.
You can't escape through there.
Okay, before we choose the door, let's see what other things pop up here. The aquarium? I doubt it. Desk? What, were they like hiding underneath the desk? Oh, see how this one is kind of tilted? Maybe like somebody tilted the painting and that... But that's not an option. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the front door.
Here! This has to be the spot! To leave the room, the culprit had to have taken this door to the hallway.
Huh? There's nothing special about that.
But there's no other possibility. There isn't another entrance or exit.
But the door itself was locked and the key was found under the corpse, right? After locking it from outside in the hallway, how did the culprit enter the room and put the key under the corpse?
Try it. Everything must be verified.
Sure. After committing the crime, the culprit went out to the hallway with the key in hand. They then locked the door. Assuming that's the only way to create this locked room, the problem is...
Ooh, I was like, it's a little bit of a stretch, but maybe they hoisted the body up. Oh, because it was in the middle of the room. That wouldn't make any sense. I was like, maybe they hoisted the body up and then they were able to like stick the key to his back and then like push. No, that wouldn't work.
What are you going to do with that key in your hand, Master? Don't tell me you still have no idea.
Hold on, let me think this over. We should go back inside for now.
Uh-oh. Oh, so it auto-locks.
Huh?
Okay, well if it auto-locks, then that's not a problem.
Looks like we're locked out.
Oh, there's a chair.
This is bad, Master! You better hurry or you'll fall into the abyss!
What do I do?
Calm down. You just need to solve the mystery. Doing that will open the path. You can do it, can't you?
Yes, I'll try.
We have to put the key back in the locked room, right? In that case...
Because of the culprit, what happened? Oh, taken home. Thrown away? Oh gosh, okay. What if I say neither of them? Damn it, I'll say taken home. No. Thrown away? Yeah. Probably not right.
Must be it.
Nope. Dang it. I'm not doing so good. It could be a situation like last time where none of them are the correct answer. Alright, we're gonna say thrown in.
Right. The key could be slid through the gap in the vent cover above the door. And if they managed to throw the key right under the corpse from here...
That seems... Yeah, that seems a little bit... Unless it's like a Danganronpa situation, we got like Leon throwing that key, that's not gonna work.
But nothing happened. The door is still closed.
I was hoping it was gonna be so easy. It's just like, oh, the door auto-locks, therefore you could just put the key under the body, leave, door locks itself, automatic locked room.
If it was wrong, a trap would have activated. So we're on the right track about the key being thrown in.
But there's more to it than that.
Go Shinigami was right,
Once they
just
threw it in,
with the wrong
it would be
room.
impossible to position it under the corpse. I see. So this is the vital clue for this locked room. I'm beginning to understand what happened here.
Oh, Lara, have you already solved the trick to this locked room?
What is it they always say? You haven't?
You haven't?
Hey, quit playing hard to get and tell us. Or just me. You can whisper it in my ear.
If you want information from me, you'll have to pay a fitting price in Xian. Of course, I don't work for cheap.
You really are a devil. Trying to take money from a death god, huh?
The key was definitely tossed inside. But that doesn't explain how it got under the corpse. So, how did the culprit pull off that trick after tossing the key in? Maybe the corpse was moved? That would explain how it was on top of the
No,
key.
except... Oh, there was a whole thing too about how, like, some of the blood dripping from his chest was dripping down, but then his legs, it was dripping sideways, so that's gotta have something to do with it.
But how do you move a body from outside a locked room?
Aww, the way's completely blocked off.
But the only things here that can block our progress are mysteries, right?
That's true. So, we just need to solve the mystery.
At least give me a heads up first.
It says, how was the corpse moved?
I've been trying to figure it out for a while, but...
Evidence was left at the scene.
Huh?
If you look at the evidence, you'll understand what tool the culprit used to pull this off.
Tool?
That's all the advice I'll provide. You must figure out the rest yourself if you wish to be a true detective.
Got it.
Got it? You just want the mystery solved for you, huh? I can tell, because I'm your mentor. So, I'll help you out. Are you ready? You better be.
Huh? Ready for what?
Lay it all out, Master!
Oh, this. I didn't do so well with this one last time. Oh yeah, I still have like all my skill points. I haven't used those yet. Okay, once I get a chance, I really should utilize those. Okay, so it's a tool. Can't remember if I'm able to check the solution keys from here. Oh, the victim's neck, blood. Okay, the blood stains. And the doll with its eyes down. Culprit used a... let's see. Oh gosh, I can't remember how to do this. Okay, let's see.
Me now?
Guess we'll just start with... I? Oh. A... R? Let's see. L... E... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6. Maybe G? Oh, not G either, huh? S. Okay, an S. So they used a... Oh, is it like slant? S-L-A... No. Oh gosh, I don't have much time. Ah, why am I so bad at this one? Oh, Nazi shoots. Man, really not doing one.
Damn it!
Okay, I'm gonna do these here. Like, I didn't actually use... These are like hints, right? Do I bring them... over? I can't remember how I actually use these. Ah, okay. Yeah, I can't remember. Okay, I just got it. All right, so S was the first one. But 6 letters.
Go, go, go!
Bloodstains on the corpse, victims. S, E, S, R. Okay, okay.
Go, go, go!
Oh, shoot, string. That's right, there's a string around the victim's neck. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Alright. Where you are. Yes, okay. Oh, no! I thought that was an I. I'm panicking now. Ah, okay. N. G. No.
You only have 30 seconds.
I know.
Great!
I have to remember how to use those ones. Because they're like hints, right? And that probably explains the bloodstains as well, why some of them drip down, some of them drip down the side.
That's right. There was evidence of a thin string being used at the scene of the crime. A sturdy and thin string like a fishing line must have been used to move the body.
You really think a tiny string could move a whole corpse?
There he is again! That rude and gloomy guy!
That deduction is wrong. You're wrong.
What could be wrong about it? Master sounded really confident just now.
Listen. The nails in that corpse's leg pierced through his body and into the floor. Which means the corpse was fixed in place. So how could the corpse be moved?
What was it? Was it Shinigami who said, like, maybe they're 2 different halves of a person?
Oh, true. If the corpse was stuck in place, it'd be impossible to move it.
Indeed. It would be impossible.
Laura, you think so too? So I was wrong the whole time? Huh? The door!
The truth is slipping further away!
Of course it is. Because your deduction is wrong. You people will never reach the truth. This is the end.
Master, let's take him down first!
Yeah.
All with the eyes get bloodstains in the corpse.
Your deduction is wrong.
My time.
Do you have any proof that the corpse was moved? The corpse was fixed in place. It didn't move a millimeter. In fact, that corpse shows no sign it was ever moved.
Ah, no! I have the wrong thing.
That's an
That would be the bloodstains.
indisputable fact.
Right.
Just like he said, when we viewed the scene through post-cognition, the body was fixed in place. But in order to create a locked room, it would have been necessary to move the body.
Then...
In that case, there might be some evidence left behind of something being moved. Let's check the solution keys.
Your deduction is wrong. Do you have any proof that the corpse was moved? The corpse was fixed in place. It didn't move a millimeter. In fact, that corpse shows no sign it was ever moved.
I'll splash through this mystery. No, there was evidence the body had been moved. The upper and lower parts of the body bled out differently. The blood from the lower body flowed naturally outwards, along the body's outline. But blood from the upper body looks like it flowed in a downward direction, toward his hips.
Right, that would be somebody who would be upright.
If the corpse was motionless on its back, there wouldn't be such unusual bloodstains. In other words, it's safe to assume the body's position was different from when it was discovered. What? What's this?
Ugh, gross! We gotta hurry and get through that door.
Unusual circumstances. It doesn't matter. As long as the corpse was pinned to the floor, it couldn't be moved. You can't change the truth.
Even this didn't work? Am I just wrong about it all?
No, you're correct. The answer you've reached using the evidence is the truth.
Laura!
There's no doubt a fine string was used in this case. Evidence at the crime scene indicate the corpse was moved. So all that remains is to answer, how was the pinned body moved? That bizarre bloodstain holds the clue to all of this.
The bloodstain? If the bloodstain is the clue for how the body could be moved, even while pinned...
Master, we gotta chase after the door! It's getting further away!
Hey, wait!
I won't let you!
Okay, what position was the corpse in before it was moved? Standing on legs. It's gotta be either the first or the last one. I'm gonna go with upper body. Sitting up. Okay, nice.
That's right! The corpse was sitting up at first. That's why only the wounds in the upper half of the body bled straight down.
What was used to sit the body upright? God, it's gonna be probably either the wall or the string? Ooh, that was close. Okay, nice. Okay, so what was like by the door?
The string I mentioned before was thin but sturdy.
The string would have been, and it was through the vent, probably. So the body was the body setting up by the door? Then how did it get over to the, like the middle of the room? Unless it was a really long string.
It was all over the room, holding the body's upper half in place.
Oh, all over the room.
That's the reason only the corpse's neck had marks on it.
Why was the corpse lying on its back at the time of discovery? Moved when discovered, the string was retrieved, the string was cut. Oh boy, it could be any of these. Moved? Okay, nope. Okay, we're just gonna go with the second choice and then the third choice. Okay, so the string was retrieved.
The culprit then retrieved all the string that kept the corpse in place.
Okay, so they nailed down the legs first, kept the body upright with the string, and then once they retrieved the string, then the body... And also they said, I think, that the nails didn't go all the way through the chest, which would make sense, because that would have been done after the culprit had already left the room.
And with nothing to support it, the top half of the corpse fell back to the floor, just like how it was discovered.
It appears this locked room mystery will finally be solved.
Huh? When did that happen?
Maybe you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Master, you know the answer, right? Let's finish this.
Right.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery.
Oh, the desk light, did it maybe go with the doll? Because they said it was like all over the room. So it would have been put through here. So first we would have put the string around his neck.
Maybe you got the order wrong.
Oh, okay.
Stay calm. Collect your thoughts. First, you need to tie the fishing line down. Find a sturdy spot where it can be easily retrieved later.
Okay. Would it be the vent?
First, a knot was tied through a slit in the vent. After that, the fishing line was drawn away to another location. In terms of sequence, it'd probably be easier to start with things that are fixed in place.
So, like, a lamp, right? The lamp's fixed in place.
Does this location matter? You're supposed to be Second
Aw.
Master. You said you're looking for something that's fixed.
I thought maybe the desk was, or the desk lamp was fixed into place. Darn it. Oh, the corpse. The corpse is fixed in place.
Does this location matter?
What?
You're supposed to be searching for where the fishing line went.
How much more fixed in place can you get than a corpse nailed down? Damn it.
Master, you
Why am
said
I so
you're
bad
looking
at
for
this?
something that's fixed in place. Why don't you search for that?
Ugh, somehow this is even going worse. Last one. The doll? Doll's fixed in place.
That's it! It passed through a doll's
Oh,
eye.
that's right. Yeah, the eyes were hollowed out.
And then the fishing line passed through the eye to somewhere else.
Okay, so it's 2 out of 5. And maybe the... I'm really, like, fixated on the desk lamp. Would it be the corpse at this point? Or would it be hooked maybe... Not the painting. Maybe, like, here... And then here... I'm going to the damn lamp.
No, there's no need. You proved that yourself already.
I want this lamp to be part of it.
Right. The line was then passed around a certain point on the corpse. That was... here, behind the neck. The line ends here to support it. Now, it's clear that the line passed through the vent, the doll's eye, and ended beneath the neck.
Hang on. Why pull the line through the doll first? Can't you just start by pulling it from under the body?
To support the body's weight, the line needs to pass through the doll first, as it was fixed in place. Next, the fishing line.
Would it go back at this point that way? Because we're 3 out of 5, so I feel like we need to do something else before we get to the starting point. Could it be the lamp then? I desperately want to use it. I'm assuming, because Halara said, no, stop it. So, alright, we're gonna go back to the vent.
Now, to return the line to the vent.
Okay, so that's gonna be part
corpse's upper torso in place.
4, and then they're gonna retrieve it, and then that's gonna snap the body down.
Next.
Then we leave.
The culprit exited through the door and locked it with the key. And then...
The vent gap. Or the door gap? Where was the key thrown? No, it would be the vent, because there was the chair.
the key was thrown through the gap in the vent.
Because we already talked about this. He already used it.
If the culprit managed to drop the key next to the corpse, the only thing left was to untie the line.
But they still have to... They still have to hope that they have a good throw, but I guess If they didn't get it right, they can always... Well, no, I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it.
The corpse, which was supported only by the line, would fall face up on top of the key. That's how the culprit created the locked room.
Hooray! You did it! That's my master!
I feel like each one for me is getting progressively more difficult. So does that mean that the first one's gonna be really hard? I'm just making dumb mistakes. I just gotta like take a break and go through the solution keys as well. I can like just look at the menu and look at them.
Were strange. The length of the nails driven into the upper and lower body were different. The nails on the upper half didn't penetrate all the way through the body, but the nails on the lower half went all the way through and into the floor. That was how the lower half could be secured, while the upper half could still be moved around.
That sure was tricky, but you managed to solve the mystery behind it. Looks like we finally made it to the treasure chest.
Are we gonna have another empty chest here?
Speaking of, don't you think that whoever worked the hardest should get to open it? Which is me, of course.
Yep, still nothing. So none of the previous cases seem to have any connection to the latest one. Oh, no, we did get one. Okay, perfect. So that's weird that the last one didn't give us anything because they said it's not connected, or it has nothing to do with the most previous cases. Okay, a fishing line was used in the locked room mystery of the mansion study.
This is probably another clue leading to the culprit. I'm not sure how we use it. Still, it must be used for something. Hold on to it for now. Let's solve the rest.
Right.
The first locked room happened 6 months ago in a secret club in Kamasaki district. An old geezer was nailed to the wall in an underground casino. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing.
Are you going to the first locked room?
Trapped inside a locked room again?
I don't know why Shinigami is so surprised at this point.
But if the mystery isn't solved, then I won't escape this place. Trapped in a cramped room with these two. Sounds kind of fun, actually.
I have no intention of playing along with your fantasies. Yuma, hurry up and take care of this.
Yeah, okay.
Where did the culprit be from?
This is where
Always
I
the
used
question.
Talara's forte with my coalescence for the first time. Post-cognition allowed us to see the crime scene as it was in the past. Some things were obviously different. Those are most suspicious.
Okay, have to remember, because this stuff was all knocked over, right? And once again, I'm gonna go with the door. Mistake. Oh, the thing that was kind of messed up too was this area. Maybe there's like a secret. I'm still sticking with that, or the vent. There's always the vents, isn't there? Let's go with it.
Here.
I'm so sad that there wasn't, in any of these rooms, there was no, like, hidden passageway.
You believe the culprit escaped through the vent?
Yes, I'm sure of it. When I saw the crime scene with your post-cognition, the screws on the four corners of the vent cover were removed. which means the culprit must have escaped from there.
How ludicrous. You're saying the culprit escaped from the vent? That's impossible.
Master! Poking full of holes until he's a makeshift golf course!
What does that mean?
Right, nails beneath vent. That's probably gonna be it.
How ludicrous. They used the vent. That's utterly impossible. Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no way you could get there. Even if the cover was removed.
Oh, let's slash that. Nope. Ah, darn it. Okay. We already know the vent's cover is easily removed. The nail's really connected.
Then...
The cover was open to get out through the vent. We need to figure out how it was reached in the first place. Couldn't he have used the nails? Let's check the solution keys and think it over.
How ludicrous. They used the vent. That's utterly impossible. Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no way you could get there. Even if the cover was removed.
Oh, I jumped too high. I jumped too soon.
There's
Darn
no
it.
foothold to use.
Oh, there
to
we go.
reach it.
I should have just waited a second.
Some of the nails stuck in the bottom of the vent were bent downward. The culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footing to reach the vent. The weight caused the nails to bend.
So you're forced to fight this way every time. Quite the test of endurance.
Yeah, no kidding.
However, solving the mystery itself was simple. The nails were used as footing to escape through the vent. Did you find that out using my post-cognition?
Yeah, without your help, this case would have been impossible to solve.
You'll never be considered a full-fledged detective until you can handle a case like this on your own.
Sorry.
You got lectured again. Sucks to be a rookie, huh? Anyway, let's head out. We'll use the nails on the wall as footing, just like you deduced.
This was the easiest one. All right.
Right, let's hurry.
This one we barely investigated at all, but I guess it was a pretty... Some of the other ones were, especially the one with the mansion with the string, that was very complex. This was super simple.
The Mystery Labyrinth. Such a bizarre place. I must ask, is there no way to escape besides solving the mysteries?
You mean like an emergency exit? Unfortunately, I don't think that exists.
An emergency exit, huh? Well, there is one, kinda.
There is?
I'm guessing
But it
that...
doesn't solve anything. You'll just go right back to the mess you came from.
Yeah, it was like... Or I thought there was going to be a big price to pay if you had to take that exit.
Besides, to use the emergency exit,
Oh,
you'll have to
well...
pay a heavy, heavy price.
And that is?
Don't worry about it. Using it here wouldn't help anyway. So, never mind. Just concentrate on solving the mystery.
Got it.
It's like before, there should be a solution key here. It'll reveal the perpetrator of the crime at the secret club. Once you obtain it, you should check it thoroughly.
That's...
Maybe there's a solution key like the one from before. Should be. I wonder what kind of key it is. I can't wait. Yeah, so strange that the one room didn't give us one. They said like it wasn't connected or...
So, who's gonna open the treasure chest this time? How about, whoever looks like they'd win a character popularity poll? Oh, that's me. All right, another solution key.
Only someone with a slender build could have used the nails. Hey, right? So I'm thinking that the nun. Trying to think, there's the big dude. Definitely couldn't be the big dude. The priest? I think the priest is pretty slender. There's the actual, the fanboy. I can't remember what his name was. The enthusiast. He seems like he's pretty thin. So it could be anybody but. But if the nun hurt her arm before all this, because that's the thing is, I don't know when she actually hurt her arm. So if she hurt her arm before all of these happened, like months ago, then she's automatically exempt because she can't climb through the vents.
Looks like another clue leading us toward the culprit.
Someone can.
Considering the culprit used those nails as footing, they would have to be nimble. And given the size of the vent, only someone thin could fit through it.
So the culprit must be thin. We're narrowing down the possibilities quite nicely.
Keep it up, Master. This is all thanks to my training. That's it for all the locked rooms. We make a pretty good team, don't you think so?
Well, what do we do from here? I see. The way forward is clear. It must be due to solving all of the locked room mysteries. Now let's go.
Right.
Again, I gotta ask, who's supposed to be the protagonist here?
Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Lady of Eternity, Jared Fan, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Icognito, Harry Gazif, Cardboard, and Shadow Dragon.